Mikailia.
So I'm a major nerd, if you didn't know that, and I love to read. And I think that all kids should love to read, because there's a lot of benefits from reading. And some of these benefits can even help kids in high school and in college. Reading books expands a kid's vocabulary. An article from literacyprojectfoundation.org said that most books contain words that kids will never encounter in a normal conversation or on TV. For example, asphyxiation, chauvinist, archetypal, incendiary. I read those words in a book just last night, in a middle school book, not like some adult book or something. And when was the last time one of you used one of those words? That's what I thought. Also, children with a large vocabulary tend to be deeper thinkers, and they learn to express themselves better. And who can forget the ultimate plus of amazing any ELA teacher with an extensive comprehension of the English lexicon. Kids that love to read are typically better at spelling too, because they're accustomed to seeing the correct spellings of words in published books. Well, I hope that the words are spelled correctly. When you think about a word, your brain has a picture of that word to match it. And it helps the kids, picture the word so they can spell it correctly in a spelling test. Good readers are also better writers. Kids learn from everything they see, and reading examples of good grammar and literary tone in books will help them apply those skills to their writing. I've had English teachers compliment me on my writing when the only reason I can write like that is because I've read books with grammar like that. But a love of reading affects kids in more than just school. I've become better friends with people because of a love for books. Like, Miss Genesis. We share a love of Harry Potter, and we even went all the way down to Nashville to McKay's just to get some books with Jayana. Yeah, we're nerds like that. Reading is also a pretty easy way to keep a kid entertained. One trip to the library will keep a kid entertained for weeks. Well, most kids. I read mine in 2 days. You can bring a book anywhere. It doesn't need to be charged. It doesn't need any Wi-Fi. And no matter what a kid's interested in, there's probably a book about it. Unfortunately, kids that love to read can annoy their parents. Like me. I will be so focused in a book that I conveniently don't hear my mom telling me to do my chores. And that's a plus for me. Well, she always finds me and tells me to do it anyways. I always read a book before I go to sleep. It helps me pass the time when I'm not tired yet, and helps my brain wind down so that I'm actually ready to fall asleep. Reading from paper books is better than reading from a Kindle or a phone because the blue light gives you headaches and will not help you fall asleep if you're trying to read before you go to sleep. Reading is also proven to reduce stress. It allows your brain to actively do something without focusing on problems around you. Books also help you experience things you will never encounter in real life. I've sailed on Viking warships, been lost inside a fairy tale world, saved Disney World from villains, and trained a dragon, all because I've read books. Books also give insight on how other people think. Authors pour their entire lives into their work, and it shows you how differently other people will think from you. Don't get me wrong, this probably seems like the kind of speech for a book nerd like me, because I can't think of a better topic. But that's not the case. Reading is really important to me, and I think that other kids should love it just as much as I do. If you take anything away from this speech, remember this: a love of reading benefits kids in more ways than you can imagine, and don't read from the Kindle. Thank you!